James, this is a little bit different.
Definitely, yeah.
It's good to see you again, though, mate. As
Likewise.
always. Yeah.
Great to be here.
Yeah. So I'm here today with James, co-founder and CTO of Nodecraft. James, obviously, we know each other pretty well, but for the viewers back home, do you want to tell them, how did you come here today?
Yeah, sure. So Nodecraft started, I don't know, maybe 13 years ago or so, kind of as a thing. Friends and I were doing this more as kind of a hobby thing, and it kind of grew from there. We were kind of trying to figure out what would empower people to kind of create these online game servers in a lot easier way and kind of get online and play together. A lot of the stuff at the time was a little kind of hard to use and stuff like that. Had to find something that was easy, and it wasn't out there, so rather than just kind of not do it, we just went about creating that solution ourselves.
Sure.
And now we're here today for the first time at GDC, which is really exciting, and launching our very first B2B product, which is really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I think John showed me that yesterday. John being obviously CEO. For me, it's super exciting to see where you guys are taking it, and I think we had a discussion around looking at the shift in the Minecraft market. Big players now like yourself are looking at how can they, still help the player now that market's changing. So, as you brought the topic up, the B2B platform, do you want to give us a bit of an insight what that, looks like?
Yeah, of course. So, for us, kind of, as you were saying, the market is generally trending in that direction, where a lot of games will kind of be created, and then after a while they'll just kind of pretty much fall off in terms of popularity. And one of the ways of really improving that is having some kind of player-owned servers, which kind of lets people play together and kind of improves that longevity of the game. And for us, obviously, that was being for a while going direct to consumer, which works well, but it's clunky. There's very low conversion rates, and if you can get in the game, not only can we kind of bring that direct to those eyeballs, but also one of the huge things which we're offering is a direct revenue share with the actual game studio, which means rather than this being kind of a cost center and a distraction, it can actually create revenue for them as kind of players create these servers to play with their friends and their family, etc. And very much that's why we're here. We're launching that, and we're pretty much getting just a lot of eyeballs and a lot of people interested, and having chats with various studios and developers just to kind of see how this will nicely slot into what they're building and how we can help them really expand and keep their games kind of rolling for years to come, rather than just kind of dying off.
Absolutely, like building your own little ecosystem that everyone knows it's always going to be there, stable, and for future plays. So James, as we just said, you've got the cool stuff over there, so you're generating a lot of traffic. People are really interested in seeing what Nodecraft's all about. Clearly, you're having a lot of conversations. So I'm really interested to know what's the main theme that you're seeing whilst you're here at GDC? What's the hot topic conversations that people are asking?
That's a great question, and I think for us so far, one of the big things around with game devs and studios has been around this idea of kind of user-created content and seeing how they can really get and re-engage these users in their games in a way that can actually create more of a long tail for their game. And I think that's really somewhere where we can really help. And then as we start talking about the whole revenue share model and things like that, their ears get really excited, and there's a lot of great opportunities so far. We've already chatted with some great developers and great studios, and some of them want to get on board right now, and that's pretty exciting. So
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully over the next couple of days we're going to chat to even more and get even more great opportunities like that.
Yeah, we're seeing a shift in the market a little bit, where studios now are going, why don't we just give the power to the player? We don't have to do the hosting ourselves. They can do, or they can decide that actually, companies like yourself, we've seen it with Be Rising in the past, we're seeing it with more and more games cropping up. And I think it's a really exciting time for you guys to be speaking to those studios directly, and just seeing where it takes the platform. And like you said, the user engagement staying there. I've got one other question that I think John mentioned yesterday about that revenue share. How does it work in terms of let's say I'm a studio with 100,000 AWS credits, because hey, everyone gets free credits, right? Can I take that to your platform and maybe utilize that whilst trying your services? Is that something that works?
So you definitely could. For us, the goal is not to have them host anything or have any kind of cloud infrastructure, because that is realistically just cost.
Exactly, yeah.
So for us, the goal really is to kind of leverage our platform, which kind of helps us use kind of some of the hosting stuff that you have to kind of empower our platform. And so while we don't really work with the cloud in that kind of sense, for us it's a lot more about those players creating those servers in game. They will obviously have to pay a fee for that, and then we can split some of that revenue with the studio, which then again empowers kind of that long tail of.
So it sounds like to me, if you're a studio, let's say you've got your studio with these credits, you could try your platform out, try the services. It won't cost anyone anything.
Yeah.
Then if you like it, not only do you get to use that service and, like you said, be part of that ecosystem to build that game, you then can also reduce your infrastructure costs, your cloud expenses by also using that platform on top of bare metal.
Exactly, yeah. And for us, we have what we're calling just-in-time servers, which means we can drastically reduce those costs because it means we haven't got to run those servers all the time, which a lot of infrastructure generally does have to still these days.
Yeah.
And it means we can kind of directly, as the player is joining that server, we can spin that up in real time, get them connected, and makes it all very easy, very quick, and it just keeps, again, those players online for longer and playing together as the game kind of just keeps going. So.
Absolutely. And I think, like I said, we've been speaking now for a couple of years, and look, whenever either of us have a question, whether you message me on Slack or we give each other a call, we're there to make sure that this stuff works. So, mate, it's been a pleasure, and yeah, here's the next 2 years.
Absolutely. Thanks as always.
Yeah.